So, two crazy starts. Welcome back to Mega Game Battles. I'm your host, Chocolate Nova, and it's been a while. It's been a while, and it's been a while for a reason, a good reason. Um, so now that Elden Ring has taken over, you know, we have individuals who still play Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. And for those out there who are still playing Dark Souls 3, 1, and 2, whether it's for fun purposes, maybe lore purposes, which is not that many who care too much about the lore. I mean, they do to a fault when they become very well involved in the gameplay. In the game, they kind of want to get an idea of, well, what's going on in this game. Even if the story is fragmented. The problem is that we do not um, we don't try to investigate, do our own personal investigation on the game. Um, and this is not to discredit those who make lore videos. This is to help us all in the community who are trying to bring light to games that have storylines that are extremely convoluted, such as the Dark Souls series, and now another fragment of that um, being Elden Ring. Now, that's you know because of the massive convolution, the time is convoluted in the game, as they say. Um, it can make things very weary to the person who is moving from soul game to soul game, trying to put fragments together, and it seems as if every single one of them just seem to have their own storyline that is separate from the others, and that might be well so, you know. And the reason why I say that is because um, places and things just don't seem to be in the same place that it would be or should be or look like it should be in other games. Um, for instance, Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3, similar places like and Orlando. No, you know, you don't you don't really get to see the exact same format that you see in part one that you see in part three. Um, I mean, this is going to be for obvious statements. What's happening, what I feel is kind of happening with the Dark Souls series, and this is not to um, go, to get off track, off topic, but um, you have to make what I call proper assumptions. Obviously, if they created a world like Anne Orlando, and your character has seemed to ran through all of Anne Orlando, then you go and play part three and you go, wait a minute, this wasn't here last time, this wasn't this, and then you start to pick at the fantasy world gameplay that they have created. You have to take into account that we're human beings, and when we grow, our ideas grow about things, especially when you're passionate about it. You cannot expect an old game to look exactly like a new game. You can expect it to have better graphics, better detail, better this, better that. So, and Orlando obviously doesn't look exactly like that it does in part one, as it's going to look in part three, which shows you what happens after. Not that the situations have changed and made the structures look different, because they have more graphics in part three than they do in part one. But it's almost like you have to learn to run with the imagination that also you only ran through certain parts of the game that probably have other parts of the game that used to be there, Whereas the structure, due to erosion, due to the war, if you want to use that for leverage to make sense of the story, the weathering away, when it comes down to science, structures move based on weather, based on conditions. War is a condition of, of how the terrain changes depending on the type of war weapons, the depending on the destruction that was, caused in that area, that caused further, you know, decay of the foundations of structures. Anyway, without going too far and too deep into that aspect, those are the things you want to kind of consider as you go through the gameplay, because I take screenshots as I go along and play through this game. And I'm gonna tell you, you're just not gonna get the exact same drawing or look that you got in one part of the game in one game than you are in the other. As we continue to move forward into the future, and they continue to do this story in almost in reverse, which I feel is kind of what's happening here. They pulled what I call the John Lucas, with Star Wars. We started off at, I believe, episode 5 or 7 or whatever, and then we kind of went forward from the future, moving forward. So of course the graphics definitely got better. You go back and watch, movie 7 and compare it to how movie 1 looked. You go, well, it's in greater detail that they're doing part 1 in the future, but did the story midway in the past, where the graphics are very minimal. They didn't have the technology to make CGI the way they make it today, so it kind of like almost. I mean, obviously, we look at John Lucas and we go, this guy's a genius. He brought out a piece of the story starting from like midway, where a certain event is going to take off that means so much, but it means so much because that's where the story started off at. And the other parts of the story, whether they would have started from part 1 all the way up, it kind of just made the story just kind of come all together. Everybody's definitely going to go back and watch, Star Wars, the first movie, and then go back and watch the old flicks, which are movies that were done in the past that look crummy into the future. If you just started watching this, I'm just basically just using Star Wars, John Lucas as an example of what they did with the Soul series, because a lot of people are not going to correlate or understand. Well, here you have Elden Ring, another Souls game, and then we just finished playing Dark Souls, and how convoluted the story is. Because, when you look at Dark Souls 1, you say, okay, Dark Souls 1 obviously all those events obviously came before part 3, right? Or did they? There are things that we need to go back and just kind of check on. Now, with this particular game, and I said it, in my old videos, I told my gamer buddies the same thing. Elden Ring is the past of, the Dark Souls series. More and more proof shows that it's true. Um, as I was making my last run through gameplays with Dark Souls 3, I was stressing a lot about the demon ruins and the king's antechamber, where you see these beings like this one in back of my character right now. They have horns on their head. These are what they're not called elk, but you would call it an elk. But you would find, if you do still play Dark Souls 3, I do encourage you to go ahead and look up, item descriptions. Um, you're gonna see, you can start with the millwood. You can start with millwood and the tree, and you can. It'll tell you about the beings. When it comes down to the helmets that they wear and who they follow and who is the gods of these trees, or who is the somewhat was like a thriving force. If you go back and you look into the antechamber or down in the demon ruins, you see these um, somewhat horn-like beasts that are, and mind you, beast is another key word that is more uh, that's used a whole lot in the Elden Ring series, unlike in Dark Souls 3, where they are predominantly talking about angels and demons per se. In this case, go look at the Millwood and the followers attire, things like that, so that you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about when it comes down to Elden Ring and what ties the connection. This beast right here is one of the biggest, clearest indications. Is this the last master? No, it's not the last master. It's just a beast in the game that you fight. The fight is fairly easy depending on your strength build and how you actually carry yourself throughout the game. However, you never ever I mean, you're not going to understand it unless you actually read item descriptions. Now, in part 3, of course, there's a slew of items that you can get, just like in Dark Souls 3 and in most Souls games. Um, we're not really, a lot of people who play the Souls series, they're more concerned about beating the game and creating a stronger build so that they can have fun throughout the game. A lot of them don't really know what's going on. They leave it up to guys like me and other guys who make videos, such as Vidivadia, where they're working with a team, or they're doing the best they can to kind of bring the information together so that way it can be displayed to you in a way where you understand. However, there's little things that I've seen along the way that doesn't necessarily put a dent in their story, but you can definitely go and research the game, play yourself, and just kind of do your own research. I mean, it's like that for everything nowadays. You want to buy something to eat, you don't want the chemicals that it comes with. What do? You start to make changes in your diet. And it's all because you want to actually do the right thing for your body. So that means you're gonna have to figure out the truth behind certain things and then make light of it. In this case, I've listened to a lot of different lore videos. Blue Lizard Jello, shout out to him, because he helped me out greatly with the walkthrough. The walkthrough was great because an idea of who to beat first and where to go through the game to have a nice, easy transition through the game with subtle advantages. But really, I did it for the storyline because these type of games, you have to do certain things at certain times to get certain things. He helps out with that aspect of it, so that way you can see the different storylines inside the game because they also help out with what's going on with the lore. Um, so, so this beast in back of me is one of the key things um, that tie in to the rest of the Soul games. Excuse me, I'm drinking water because my birthday was yesterday, so I'm just a little bit hungover, and I'm just trying to get myself back on track. But yes, for those who are playing Elden Ring and you kind of want to know, like, are they connected? Here's something that can show you that they probably are. This beast right here is the key player right here. It's a beast that's underground. Mind you, I'm underground right now, even though you see the stars in the sky, which aren't really stars, but it's a great depiction of it. And it would look like that if the world was the way it is in this world, where there's a whole bunch of glintstones in the sky, which is what that is. Shout out to my boy. He actually led me to this cave. Um, and I didn't go through it. Kind of just, I left it for a different time to go different places in the game to cover the map and to get further in the game. But I came back to it, and this is what I found on the ground. And there's other beasts there, that are, you know, that will kind of give you an idea of the type of folk uh, that it'll give you an idea of what's the connection. The beasts that are roaming the land down here have horn helmets. If that's not their original horns, they it does look like they are of a species of their own, and those aren't helmets. That's actually its body. They have hooves, they have, hoof feet like a beast. They have horns like just like this with the antlers and all that stuff. Um, you'll see when you play through the game. And when you look at the painted world in part three, whether it be the followers or the other guys with the capes, the bigger ones that wield big axes and they have bows and arrows. They are bigger than normal, the normal beings, and they also have helmets that have horns in them. And their cloak have the same type of symbol, which is like the face of this animal right here with the horns growing up, I believe, or I think it's the tree. Um, but the correlation, it cannot be denied, especially when you read the description. So this beast right here is a definite connection to that world because like most magic and most things, and as you can see, it has like leaves growing, or it did have leaves, but it has like roots growing out of its head, and like the ones in the demon ruins that are there, they actually have the capability of spitting out poison, and they also have the capability of healing themselves, which is a great factor. It's a great factor, and the reason why I say that is because it correlates to this work, this game, and this story. Um, why? Why do I say that? When you and anyone who's playing in Elden Ring is going to tell you, you can heal, right? You can heal. You can throw fire. You can throw lightning bolts, and then you have sorcery, right? Because mind you, what I just fireballs, lightning, healing, okay, those are all miracle based. And when I say miracle based, I mean miracles in terms of like if I'm saying Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, we know that heal is a miracle, but we look at throwing fire, right? They made fire in Dark Souls uh, somewhat separate and just called it pyromancy because it's fire that you're dealing with. But in this game, you can create fire through incantations. And that's really the separate thing about this whole world is that, you can do incantations or you can do sorcery. Sorcery is strictly sorcery that's just dealing with the stars, if you will. Astrology, dealing with pulling these things, this magic, and being able to shoot glintstones. Most of the magics are like glintstones. Magic, which is basically like shooting stars, you know. Um, I would love to show you the attire so that way you can get a even bigger, broader perspective on the game. However, um, when we're talking about the two types of magic that you can do in this game, because there's not three like it is in Dark Souls where they separated it. Like, yeah, sure, you need stats, intelligence, um, and faith. So in this game, my faith, I'm a faith build. So magic in this game, you can trump individuals with just magic alone. You don't need to have all the strong weaponry. You can if you want, if you know what you're doing. But those who have magic are very, very powerful, very, very strong in this game. Now, um, going back, So ice, that's another thing which I also have in my stat. I'm going to show you that right now. Um, Let me just get my character up. Just kind of want to show you guys. So, and spoiler alert to anyone who is playing. Let me just put my sign in the summoning pool in case someone needs help. I'm big on that. Um, I don't see a lot of people practicing that as much, but I'm pretty sure I will see more of it along the way. Um, what was I gonna show you guys? Um, God. Oh, keep these socks on and then they itchy when you pull them down because they've been stopping the blood circulation. Anyway, um, where was I? What was I gonna show you guys? I kind of got lost in the sauce here for a second. I really did. Um, I did. I got lost in the sauce. I got lost in the sauce. I think I was gonna do with equipment. I think. I think that was gonna be the case. Um, Astrologer's hat. That is a very interesting hat. Now, mind you, you see how we got Big Hat Logan for Dark Souls 1 and traces of people who followed him later in Dark Souls 3, which goes right back to crystals. Crystals are big in this game too. Like when it comes down to those who were studying it, it's either intelligence or it's faith. But when it comes to sorcery, of course, it's going to be intelligence. And this particular type of headwear, okay, and I find this I think that this is probably one of the most gorgeous and fascinating things that they have created helmet-wise in this game, along with the one that I actually have on, which is like a ram's head, but it's decorated with almost like flowers in a way. I like it. For my characters, I like them to have beauty and strength, intelligence, everything all around that makes a person in a physical world and in the spiritual world and the physical world, uh, very beautiful, very masculine, very um, elegant and strong and intelligent, everything. But anyway, this hat I find to be just fascinating, beautiful. It's a beautiful hat, period. Um, Anyone who studies numerology, astrology, anything of that nature, esoteric knowledge, things of that nature, I can say this hat right here as a wizard, as a astrologist, as a researcher of the stars, astronomer, whatever. This hat is beautiful. His head is like the center of it all, making him the son of God, making him the, you know, look at yourself more or less, or, you know, you're using magic to build your stats. Okay, so in this with this hat does, and I'm gonna um, go back to my selection for a second in a minute. I think it's up there because it's not really. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so here's the stats for this, and it gives you mind. Well, it doesn't. This helmet doesn't give you mind, but the hold on. Let me see. Let me select something like this first, and then we're gonna go up. Okay. So if you look at my stats, my stat goes up on mind. I don't necessarily. Well, mind would be um, how much magic you have, and that's important. You know, when you're using magic, the more you know, the better you can, the more you can do. You know, so you fill yourself up on all this knowledge, and then you're like, okay, now I need to actually express what I know. You know, so the idea of them changing, um, you know, this wordplay to mind where it increases your FP, which is your focus points, right? Makes sense, because these individuals, they need to make sure they have enough focus points to do whatever it is they want to do. They, be a very focused individual. You can get almost anything done, bringing something to another world. But this to me is very, 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 very important because these individuals who studied at the school, they studied the stars. And if they were down here, they would know, okay, the stars, if I study them, then obviously, hold on. Let me go ahead and give this guy a good old nod, even though, okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna change my head wear real quick. You might not recognize me, but he's doing this. So I'm just helping someone out with the boss, obviously. He got all of the fires lit, so this is gonna be easy peasy. But the point I'm making is that this particular type of, oh brother, I hope he didn't bring me here just so I can fight someone. Some of these people in this game just, sometimes they do things to help other people out and, whatever, right? He has returned to his world. So now we're down here, and now he's going in, and I'm going in with him. And this thing is down on the ground, as you can see. Like this reminds me of part 3. I took a screenshot of that. I'm gonna post it up on YouTube eventually, just so that I can traverse this. I could just make it 6, but oh yeah. I should have changed my thing real quick. Give me a second. Hopefully he'll be able to survive long enough. But I'm just gonna make myself much stronger than what I was, or what I am per se. Hope he hold out lightning. Yeah, I think lightning would be the best for this case, for this character. It hasn't failed me yet, so let's try to do that. No, and there we go. You're very welcome, sir. So, going back to my story, I'm gonna put my signing down. Which again, I don't think many players who play through the game care too much about actually helping somebody else. Put my summon sign down. Anyway, so what I'm saying might seem like it's very verbose. There's a lot to it, but according for us to actually get what's going on in here, it needs to be broken down so people can understand. Give me 1 second. Somebody's telling me. Hold on, I'll tell you about it. Somebody's telling me they need help, so. Anyway, they pulled a George Lucas with all of this. They started something. They started the storyline midway because the first Star Wars movie I think was Episode 7, I believe. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I do like it. I do like what he did with the movie. So, oh, this guy don't have everything lit up. Okay, no problem. Let me do this since we're running around. He lit this one. He needs to light the rest. Yeah, so they started the Dark Souls series after the tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Because George Lucas did the same thing. He started his first movie in the whole Star Wars saga was in part one. Nowadays, we got part one, part two, and part three. And that was just the beginning of everything that had occurred. But we didn't get to see any of that till the future. You know? And it's a good strategy because, you know, now people will go back and watch George Lucas's old movies just so that they can see what happens after. Exactly. So in this case, they did the same thing with Dark Souls and, you know, whatever other games that they got, that they've made. Um, and, you know, so just looking in detail in certain things, they say the storyline is convoluted. Yes, it can definitely come off convoluted, and more than likely, you know, most of the stuff that we're going to see is going to be convoluted. It's not going to make any sense because, well, you know, because we need something to back what we're seeing, or it's just going to look brand new and out of nowhere. But it has a purpose, has a point. I did get to a certain point where I'm seeing uh, connections now, and the greatest connection was what I found down here with the elk, because it's in the painted world and then it's here. It seems as if the gods, every time that there was a mistake or a world that had happened, um, they had either they have the power to put the whole world in a painting. Exactly. Which is, you know, whatever problems that they had are never fixed. So, you know, wait, hold on. Where is this guy? Where is this guy? Oh, here he is. Okay. Um, it seems like they did a fairly good job. It can be very confusing playing this game. You don't know the storyline. You know, you don't have to know the storyline to know the game. But just, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is where that is, and it takes you up there. I gotta do that, man. Where is this? It's over here? Oh, man. Okay, I gotta try that. Alright. Now I know. Now I know. Um, yeah. Pretty much. What the hell did he do just now? He killed all of them. A whole lot of them, too. Probably use magic. This is crazy. Let's go on up there to do the damn thing. Feels like this is his first playthrough at all. Especially with what he's wearing. Anyway. So being that I'm still recording, we can still have the conversation about the lore. Yeah. Dang. That. I'm not gonna kill that. I had a feeling he's still gonna get me. You know? I don't know if his portal is on, mine's on. Anyway, so, oh, where'd you come from, buddy? Oh, yes. So part one, I mean, not part one, so for those still watching my live gameplay, so yeah, so the elk, what do you want to call them, the elk, the deer, whatever you want to call them, obviously plays a role in part 3. Oh, this is already lit. He already lit this one. Okay. There's obviously a correlation that shows a correlation between them. In this case, yeah, that thing was real. And you fight it, which I did fight it. It was corrupted. It was corrupted from the start. Not from the start, but there was a certain level of corruption there. These things, you know, wait, hold on. Alright, so you lit the other one. Alright, and we still got a couple more, I guess, to go. Let's see, what do I got equipped it? Yeah, my boost is about to hit right now. It looks like he turned this one on already. So, gotta go up here to where they're praying. You know, these beasts that I was talking about that are like, they have antlers, just like the deer that are around here, which is no coincidence, by the way. It looks like that's not a headdress, that is their head. These individuals that are similar to them live in, or are in the demon ruins. And they have this bowl, if you will. They have like these like fungi, little bulbs that are, you know, appearing on their heads in the demon ruins, and it looks like, you know, some sort of fungus. It looks like something, you know. It looks like something. As you can see, the rats that live down there with them, very corrupt as they are. Well. Okay. Okay, buddy. Here comes Mama. Do 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 do. I'm off the cliff, and I'm getting my ass handed to me. Come on, mama. You know, I ain't doing all that other shit, but you know what I'm saying? I'm getting caught off guard here. Okay? Messing me up. Anyway, so up here is where his next thing is at. And he's not there, but when he actually gets here, he'll see that I'm in the right spot waiting for him, or waiting for him to get over here, so that he can open up this next thing. I am doing something. I'm not doing nothing out here. Oh, got a golden rune from one of these little mothers? Get out of my face. Get out of here. Wow. Get out of here. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and creep a little bit. Na 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 na. Alright, so then, bro, so he's got to come like this one. So I'm gonna be like the beacon for him right now. See if I can get his ass over here. Maybe he'll be able to see. Anyway, so in this case, you know, taking what we have, and I always say that, you know, take what you have, and you know, make something of it. When it comes down to these games, you don't have to go and just run with the lore that has been given to you. It's a good starting point to watch the lores, but are they, you know, is it true to you? Because they're still compiling information. They're still trying to figure things out too. You know, certain evidence comes up, you know, that they missed. Hey, we need to fill this out. We need to fill this out. You know, oh, I gotta go down and around. Holy crap. Ugh. Almost had me, bro. Holy crap. Yeah, come on. If you look at the eyes, right, and how they glow, right? In this game, there is a thing called madness. Hey, motherfucker! Right? There's a thing called madness. That certain people have been stricken with, or certain towns have been attacked, and you know, sadly, you know, it'd be hold on this side. Thank you. All right, I'm just hoping this guy out real quick. Right? And you see, they like to be looking up at the stars, or what we consider to be the stars and stuff like that, right? But, you know, when you look, they are stars, but they're so close to what we see in real life that it's not even funny. And that's, again, what I love about this kind of story. I love about it, but what I like about this story is that you know, they correlate a lot of things to real life things, You know, how the stars above us, like there may not be stars. That those are just fragments, of something other, and they're sticking to the ceiling, the firmament, if you will. That's biblical stuff. Yes, firmament. Like there are layers up there. There's a layer. God is past that. Like we're in a dome. This is where the idea also comes from that the world may be flat, and it may not be that it's flat. It may just be that we're on a plateau, and that it would be flat because plateaus are flat, right? But the idea about something being round, we can't really fathom because we would have to do the research ourselves. And again, information is withheld. So there's no real way for us to figure out if something like that is real or not. We would have to do our own investigation. And that's kind of hard, right? Because you need resources, you need things so that you can figure out what this type of stuff. You'd have to have literally a boat. You'd literally have to have something that will track you, that will show you everything that's around the world, per se. All right, we're going to sneak around the back because this guy right here, I'm out in the open. It's only right that he get me because... Oh, I got he still sees me. That's the sad part. That's okay. That is okay. Oh, look at this. Oh, no, you don't. Man, I hate when they do that short stop hit. Come on, Alfred. Swinging these, with my energy, with my strength, I should have been able to one-hit these rats, man. But, unfortunately, I'm in somebody else's world. I don't know how many gameplays they've already done at this point. Ooh, you would have had you. Definitely would have hit me. So anyway, um, yeah, so down here in this place on the ground, has this, this guy's creeping too. Um, Shows that they lived underground, and something corrupted them. Something corrupted their nature, their magic, their whatever, something. And I'm gonna figure it out. Just like, you know, Dark Souls 3, you know, um, the darkness was coming about, and Gwen got scared and was like, "Yo, you know what, man? Like this age should not have to pass." You know. Another two things that were hints for me in this game were the two fingers. Um, why is the two fingers? Why is that important? Why is that important? I don't know right now. But what I can tell you is that what keeps the world, Dark Souls world going, right, are the things in the background that keep on pushing itself onto the world. It's not simply just said and you just take my advice. No, it needs further scrutiny, right, is what you would think. Like, yeah, this needs further scrutiny. Um, but let's dive into it. Dark Souls 3, you get a shield that is very important. In that shield, you see that it's talking about the two. Oh, let me get down here. I think that homeboy is a little lost. And he needs to get his butt up here if he wants to get to the last one. Again, oh wait a minute, where are we? I see the crab. He didn't take out the crab. I don't think I want to take out the crab either. Or maybe he's just running around collecting shit, you know. Try to get over here. The crab is blocking the way. Okay, I see him. He's over there. I don't see him, but I know he's over there. Yeah, he's in the wrong spot. I don't think he's lit any more of those things, but he got one more over here. Yeah. So people in the painted world, they obviously were like became some sort of protectors, soldiers, whatever you want to call them, of the where'd he go now? Like now he's all the way over here. Where are you, homie? Where are you, man? Like what the hell are you doing? Let's go. He didn't even listen. And this is the problem with co-oping with people who don't have headphones. Because when you want to tell them where they need to go, they're just whatever. They're not even listening. So you know what? I don't want to get cast out of his world. I want to keep on playing. But your man is not listening. He's just doing what he wants to do. Whatever. He can, because technically it's his game. I didn't want to get booted out, but you know what? I'm going to go and just sit there and wait where he's supposed to be. So, yeah. Oops. So, that's what I was saying. In the painted world is like the biggest hint about what exactly is going on. As far as the followers and the other elk men, they are protectors of the oak tree. They call it the oak tree, and here it's the the urge trees, and there from the oak tree to what's the correlation between the oak trees and the let me see, oak tree and the how do you say the urge tree and the arch trees, because the arch trees is what they talk about in part one. And then in part two, it's kind of obvious. And it's not, but I mean, they both. Did he get it? Did he jump up there and get it? Where'd he go? He scared. Anyway, yeah. Let's see what this guy says. He says precious item ahead. Doesn't look like he picked up anything. Oh no! He fell into the water? Oh my god. Anyway, too bad. So, now that we're back here, let me go ahead and get this for a second. All right. We're back here talking about this thing, and so they're protecting something. They're protecting. They were in here in this. They kept this beast asleep through shutting off or cutting off its power somehow, and these pillars of fire that light up, are to be lit by you, so that you can go in and kill the beast. But it seems as if there's a power that goes to it. It's not necessarily resurrecting or anything of that nature, right? But it's well, I'm pretty sure somebody put a whole bunch of perverted shit behind there that doesn't need to be read. But obviously, you can go to this world where this beast is, and let me see. Let me touch it for a second. Let me see if it'll take me back. And it's nothing really, as you can see. Let me hit the map for a second. I'm somewhere in the ocean. Look at where they put them. Look at where they put them. All the way here in the ocean. In the ocean? Under the ocean. In a cave at that. You see the blood stains. You know that they were trying to get out. The beast is no longer here. I don't know if I stay back there through the light where I can get out. Because if I go back the way I went, all the beasts that I killed are just gonna respawn, which kind of sucks. But this is nope, there it is. There it is. Nice. So, good grace, just take me back. So, this beast, magic, the healing factor that comes from the trees, like I was saying before, healing is a blessing. It's a blessing, if you will. It's a type of miracle. It's what you use with incantations. There's no doubt about it. Like, obviously the tree probably was good at a point in time. I know I was talking about the two fingers. I got interrupted. We'll get to that, because then we're talking about Koth and the other guy from part one, the serpents, the primordial serpents that impact the world, that tell you to do either thing, because we have choices in the world. We just certain options we just don't feel is an option for us. Leave that option to somebody else, or you take the option. In part one, they told you to link the fire. One told you to link the fire. Another one told you, don't link the fire. You've been deceived. And as you continue to play through Dark Souls, you start to make your own discernment in terms of, of just wanting to play the game and how things might turn out, so you can see the difference in the choices that you've made, and then play another game and then make another choice if you want. And each one may or may not come with a benefit. Some of them do come with benefits depending on the type of player you are. And here, they want you to become Elden Lord. When you start to talk to certain players and things like, not players, certain NPCs, you start to see that not everybody is for the purpose of becoming an Elden Lord, but to destroy the whole situation that's going on here. Like the reason why this girl Millennia, whatever her name is, why she destroyed the ring in the first place. Um, why with the whole situation with the the gods that were ruling at the time, and what were they doing, and why did the war have to pop off in the first place? Did it come from a certain level of corruption that came about? What was that corruption? How did the corruption even start? Like, did somebody trigger something? And part three of Dark Souls, apparently, you know, something worse happened after trying to extend the age of fire. And that was they were trying to extend, do certain things to, well, what they did was use a soul, right? And most souls are already on fire, okay? Uh, what they did was, hold on, let's go up and let's go inside. Same things. So I'm gonna help him beat the beast now, because now all the fire is lit. And that's what was keeping the beast from being whatever and such and whatnot. So now we're just gonna go in. I'm gonna just help another person beat the boss, basically, if he wants to. That is. Yeah, he has to beat him. So then we go inside, and then we're in the cave, and here we are. All right, let's get in there. Let's do some lightning work. Oof. Hmm. Looks like he's doing a good job. And I got the wrong things equipped anyway. Let's do lightning. Let's do... Alright. I was looking for a perfect charm. This is for faith. Okay. So, so yeah, so back to what I was saying. So yeah, the two furrow fingers, the fingers, let's just say, uh, they basically remind me of the serpents. You can do it or don't. And maybe they, took personalities of their own, but somebody cut the fingers. Like something, there's something about the fingers. I'm gonna go to the equipment real quick, the inventory in this game, just to show you a little bit. Now, the middle two fingers, which is the middle finger and the ring finger, are together. And it seems as if the pinky and your pointer and the thumb has been severed. So I want to show you guys something, okay? This looks like a pointer. This could be a pinky. Pointer, pinky. Is there a major difference between the way they look? Somewhat, but this finger looks Like it's in the worst shape. Like it's the smallest. This one looks bigger. Like it's a pointer. It's not longer than the ring finger, right? But it's long, right? And then this is like the pinky finger, right? Then we have something over here, which is called finger severer. Okay? Finger severer sends another or someone, some or oneself home, which is cutting you out of the world of the person that you entered. You can leave whenever you want. That's that. And that's what that is. Funny thing, here you got Blue Cipher Ring, which answers the request of summoning hunters. Then you have, when invaded, request the aid of a hunter. These are rings that you put on. This is like the Elden Ring game, and it's like you're talking about rings, and we're talking about fingers being severed, and we're also talking about marriage in the church and things of that nature. Again, you know, funny time for funny situations, like nowadays, the Bible being, um, being spoke about, revelations, that the marriage of the two will become one. Will you be ready when when Jesus comes back, or whatever the situation may be? Anyway, the term of being married and being able to have rings on your finger, to consummate that whole love affair situation, um, the storyline itself is, of Elden Ring is tragic. Why do I say that? Because the person that was supposed to be with the woman was supposed to love her, and the thing is that he did, but then he left and he loved another. She was forced to have sex with herself, in the game, to reprocreate on the land, making us form making. She made another being of herself, something of the kind, her other half, and then had sex with herself, basically, and had these children, which is kind of like incest. If they were the ones that kind of ruined the world, um, she basically gave birth to figures of her own emotions, more or less, in this game, and they wreaked havoc. But like I said, I'm still learning the storyline, because why are the children still alive, and why are you killing them off? Why are they allowing the world to be like that? Millennia destroys what they consider, what they call the Elden Ring. This chick, the god who created all of these god siblings, um, she basically is, her statues are around, but she isn't. The fingers are around. Who created the finger severer? Why was a hand that big? But you see statues that are huge. You see statues that are huge. Like in Caled, where there is, now I'm not jumping off topic. I'm trying to stay on topic, so you guys can kind of get an idea. Look at this. Um, I'm obviously underground here in Caled, and I crossed over from some land that was down here, I believe, somewhere. Or over here. I'm not sure. I know I went down, and now I'm over here, and I'm going to make it somewhere where I had a hard time, which is right here, and that'll take me all the way up to this other place over here. I was talking to the guy in barbershop about that anyway. But anyway, everything seemed to have happened. The major catastrophic event, the epicenter of this war, didn't take place over here as far as I know. I have not gone to this part of the map yet. However, this area right here just reminds it's horrible. There's a dead giant. You got dragons spitting out. This is Caleb, by the way. Spitting out uh, poison rot, and that's what one of the girls in the church was hit with. But she was given the cure because of me, and now she's gonna fulfill her destiny. And I don't know what that destiny is. Um, Getting back her memories or whatever the situation may be. However, um, here there's a dead giant. There is toxic volcanic things going on here. Now, the church of magic, okay, and it's not weird. It to me it seems to just make all sense. Um, Here you have Celia, and Celia is the town of sorcery. Funny how here it's not too far from. Let me switch back the map. This is all underground, okay? Which is not too far from this. Look, this is here, this is here. This is how you get out. And the connection is being here, and this is where you go down, which is near an arch tree, an urge tree, whatever you want to call it, which basically takes you over to all these different places. Like I know I got a portal here, I got a portal here. I haven't even checked out most of this stuff that's underground here. Look, all this is still covered, so I got to check all of that out. That's a map within itself to figure out what happened before any of this really came above ground. And look, Worshippers Woods, below the well, Sophia's River, or Siofra's River, Siofra. So, yeah, and it's all under Caled. And here is where the giant fell. It's and mind you, the fingers that are inside of the that place, that safe haven, where the round table is at, it had to have been severed from a giant. Okay, and that giant there's also a dead giant. The first dead giant that you see is in Caled. You see his skull. There's the dragons. The dragons were hurt. There's a whole bunch of them here in Caled. Um, they don't want, they don't really care too much. Uh, they're just around their mother. They see you, they'll try to eat you and kill you, no doubt. But you got harpies up there around the mother dragon, the biggest mom dragon or whatever. Um, and she seems to be stricken, like she seems to be sick. Um, what made them sick? I don't know. Possibly sun in that area because there's over here. If you look, there's the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. This is where you would take the dragon's heart and get dragon's power. Caled, this area had a dragon's cathedral, Cathedral of Dragon Communion. It's like so. There obviously was some sort of connection in this world to uh, the upper world, that is, dealing with the dragons, dealing with the churches and the people who followed them. You know, uh, the dragons are very strong. They're stronger than the humans that live here. So they obviously were able to live in these natural or these environments and adapt, but they're still dying at the same time. And you fight a dragon who spits out the same rot that you know that you can get from the dragon, you know, but it doesn't spit out any more fire. It just spits out the acid and things like that. And we don't know. Well, how did the dragons get sick? How did this beast right here in front of me get sick. You could tell that the beast was sick. You can tell, you know. Anything, and in this game, when we talk about, death things, such as these little items, I don't think it's here. I don't think I can, maybe I might, yeah. I might be able to find it here somewhere. I don't know. So there's raw meat, things that are used for like natural materials to build things with. I'm trying to find, and that's here, but there are certain things that connect you to certain items. Like some sort of meat that you would give to a particular individual in the game. I'm trying to see if I can find that particular thing. But I think I gave it away already. It's a quest item. Basically, it's like the meat of these, the bestial meats. You can find them around, but it's like death meat. It's like death, the death. But, death is something that's so supposed to be missing in the cycle of things here. So people are, they're dying, they're living their life without death or something like that. I have to dive deep into the story to get that info for you, but they clergy, and they're turning into beasts, but they have to eat the death meat. That's what they feed off of, and I haven't really gotten into that aspect of the game yet. But what I really wanted to stress was the fact that you start to look at those items in part 3, that's in the painted world, you'll understand what they were trying to protect, not necessarily why they were trying to protect it. After so many years have gone by, it's like when you think of these deers that walk around down here or anywhere in the game, they're not trying to really kill anything. They eat from nature. So why would this beast right here be trying to kill me and whatnot? There had to be some level of corruption. When you see the way the roots are growing out of its back like this, when you see that in part 3, you start to see that this is a level of corruption that has spawned. And I don't know if this was the very beast that got infected first, then infected the rest, or maybe something in the tree or down here in the world affected, the way things were, or affected things, and then it started to spread. And that beast is probably the power, that a lot of these beasts run around with, that maybe they worship, that was part of the blessings that we get, not to say that it's a celestial beast, but its corruption, I think, was, it was bad. It was bad. Look at these creatures. They're not trying to attack me. In fact, they're running. They're scared, and they have a natural, sacrifice this thing again. All right. So yeah. See if I can like use the side way. Not over here. But playing with this guy. I'm glad I played with him. Glad I went online and did that. Go back. Back to somebody only help. Here we are. This is what I was looking for. Where we going? Oh. Sign disappear. You know what that means. Alright, so that means you want, okay.